What's up, guys? Welcome to the Fantasy Addiction Network. Today we are talking the Week 14 preview between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Arizona Cardinals. Implied point total for this one is 43.5. Pittsburgh scoring about 23, Arizona getting about 20. So Pittsburgh is favored at home here. I think this game will actually be pretty competitive. The Chargers just got absolutely hammered last week, and I think they're going to come back and have a much stronger performance. So I think I would still take I take that back. I would take the Cardinals to win this game, even though the Steelers have been performing well. I don't think Devlin Hodges is going to be able to get it done. I think Kyler Murray ends up leading the Cardinals to a victory here. So looking at the fantasy options, let's look at the Steelers first. You're probably not touching Hodges even in a two-quarterback league. It just doesn't offer enough upside for you. From a running back perspective, James Conner has been ruled out again, which is unfortunate because Arizona is pretty poor against the run. So what that means is I'm looking at Snell. I think Snell will have another decent game this week. He doesn't offer a tremendous amount of upside because he doesn't get too involved in the receiving game, but I think he is going to have enough yards on the ground and hopefully a touchdown that it will warrant a good play for you. And from Jalen Samuel's side of the ball, I wouldn't touch him this week. He hasn't really performed well with Devin Hodges since Hodges has taken over, and honestly, Samuel hasn't been that great coming back from his injury earlier in the year. So if you are able to, I would look to bench Jalen Samuels. From a receiver standpoint, I think James Washington is a good play this week. Hodges seems to only have eyes for Washington, and I think that pretty much tells you from a fantasy perspective you should only have eyes for him as well. I'm not trusting Deontay Johnson or anyone else in the receiver core. And from a tight end perspective, it's kind of gross, but Vance McDonald is a decent play this week. The Cardinals are by far the worst team in the NFL against the tight end position. They just don't know how to stop them. So close your eyes, put Vance McDonald in your lineup and hope for a touchdown. I think it's likely he gets one. The Pittsburgh defense should be okay this week, but I do, as I said, I expect Kyler Murray to play well in this one. So if they don't get a defensive score or multiple turnovers and sacks, they might end up disappointing this week. You might be able to find a better play on the waiver wire, but I would still say Pittsburgh defense is probably top 10 this week. So do with that as you will. For the Cardinals side of the ball, I would play Murray this week. I'd play him with confidence even against a strong Steelers defense. Like I said, I think Murray will help the Cardinals win this game, and I think he'll be the main reason for it. And because of that, I think he has a good fantasy game. From a running back perspective, I'm really not excited about any option. David Johnson is still playing hurt. He's not getting many looks, and when he does, he's not doing much with them. So I'm not starting David Johnson. I think Chase Edmonds is going to start to get a little bit more work, but he's still coming back from that hamstring injury that kept him out for a few weeks. Kenyon Drake will be the starter, but I'm not excited about him either. He really hasn't done much in the past couple of weeks. He's kind of been on a downtrend as well. So I'm looking to pivot off of all of the Cardinals running backs this week, especially against a strong Steelers defense. From a receiver perspective, Steelers are also good against the receivers, but if Murray's going to get anything done, that means that either Christian Kirk or Larry Fitzgerald are likely having a good game, possibly Andy Isabella as well. I would start Kirk. I would play him with confidence. I don't think you can trust Larry Fitzgerald at this point, even though it's likely that if Murray has a good game, either Fitzgerald or Isabella will have a good game. It's kind of a guessing game at this point. I'm not going to play that game and try to figure that out in the fantasy playoffs. So start Kirk, probably bench everyone else. Not really a tight end to speak of for fantasy as well in Arizona. And from a defensive standpoint, Arizona might actually be okay. I think that they can get some pressure on Devlin Hodges and see if he commits a few turnovers. So I think the Cardinals might actually be interesting defensive play if you have absolutely no other option. Also another decent DFS play this week. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please feel free to like and subscribe for more, and we'll see you in the next one.